Alright, hey everyone, my name is Young Falcon, and as you guys know, it's time to get into the Guilty Gear Strive patch notes. Update 1.9 is coming out August 27th, which is this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be for PS4, PS5, Steam, you guys get the gist. And it's going to have some balance adjustments and fixes, so it's just going to be interesting. As you all know, it's just the typical Jackal stuff, no need to cover that. Network, environment stuff, doesn't really matter. Battle stuff, again, it's all whatever. It's all the standard stuff. We're here for this. Character, balance, and bug fixes. It's time, fellas. It's finally time for some Guilty Gear Strive patch notes. You guys ready? Let's click on Soul. It's a lot. So I'll read it off to you guys. We'll kind of break stuff down as we go along. So changes focus on differentiating the properties of his normals as well as the situation after his special moves are blocked. Okay, so the hitbox of forward S or 6S, if you will, has been decreased on the top and bottom, actually, making it more likely to lose to low-profile moves and forward P attacks, which is great. Finally, we can have a move to snuff that out and punish it. Okay, that's good. Crouching slash was not used very frequently and has been buffed and now serves a different use from other normals at mid-range. That's a little scary. Alright, we added some knockback to his far-standing slash, the core of his close-range game. Okay, cool. Although the change is minimal when blocked normally, it has a major impact when blocked with faultless defense. Okay, so basically we got a burn meter for standing slash, which we were doing it to begin with, so your muscle memory should be good for that. The knockback on his crouching K has been decreased, making it easier to combo into sweep and other moves for some reason. I guess Soul needed that. The S version of Volcanic Viper has its time, or active time we should say, extended, making it more viable as an anti-air attack. Again, I don't know why Soul needs this, as increasing the active time makes the attack longer overall, and also leaves Soul more open when it's whiffed or blocked by a ground opponent. Alright, that's kind of a good and bad thing, right? Maybe we can finally punish it, right? Maybe we can finally press a button or two. After blocking Bandit Bringer, it was difficult for both the player and their opponent to predict what would happen. It's now easier to put distance between Soul and the opponent after it has been blocked, and the situation is less likely to be impacted by the startup time of an opponent's close range options. Okay, cool. Although Wild Throw is distinguished by its invincibility to throws, it was used less frequency than Soul's standard throw. It is now possible for him to follow up with the Roman. I feel like the Joker, bro. Oh my gosh, let me read this. It's now possible to follow up with a Roman cancel when it lands. Okay, the change to Heavy Mob Cemetery's command is to avoid issues when inputting Tyrant Rave. I guess that means they changed the input for Heavy Mob Cemetery, which is interesting to say the least. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of this is like okay, right? Increase the standard damage scaling on far standing slash, fine. Crouching K, reduced knockback, whatever. Crouching S is more active and better and slightly extends more in front of Soul, whatever. Plus S is kind of nerfed, which is good. Same with Volcanic Viper Ground. Bandit Bringer increases knockback finally along with the aerial version. Wild Throw is going to be really fun to deal with now. It's kind of good and bad in a way. Like, it's cool because we get to see Wild Throw kind of in its original form with RC usage and all that, but also kind of weird because, I mean, Souls do be using that. I don't know what game they're playing, but I definitely see Souls abusing that move, or not abusing it, but using it quite a ton when they're going for command grab kind of mixes, and say you go for a throw and you expect them to throw, so you don't get the tech, instead they just Wild Throw you. That's happened to me a handful of times. So yeah, whatever. And then Heavy Mob Cemetery, the move no longer comes out when importing 4 directions, and yeah, whatever. Overall, like I said, I warned y'all, don't expect Soul to get nerfed. This right here it's a start, right? A minor start, but this isn't anything crazy. This is all like run-of-the-mill stuff we kind of were talking about that we could see changes to, but none of the big offenders are, you know, even really nerfed, right? It's cool that this stuff's changed, but like standing K is still going to be a big issue, right? And all the stuff he gets off of it, on top of the fact that his damage output is not talked about here at all. That was the biggest issues IMO. Standing K being a great frame trap, Wild Throw mix, and just getting pretty much anything he wants in terms of running through you off of it. Like, just the grounded state was kind of OD to deal with. Some Gunflame stuff, his pressure in general, his block strings in general. It looks like you're just going to use more crouching S in the block string, right? We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to hold judgment. It seems like the nerfs are okay, but I'm still holding judgment. I think this is not enough for Soul Bad Guy. For Kai Kisuke, it's easier for both hits of Stun Dipper to connect from long range now. This means it's more viable for him to get damage from pokes at mid-range compared to Crouching Slash or his far standing slash, which has a few distinct advantages. It's also now easier to approach the opponent from long range, and if you time the move correctly, you also get Crouching S to stop the opponent's approach, and Kai is now capable of a pretty strong ground and neutral game while taking limited risk. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. We'll finally stop having Kai's jump around mashing heavy slash to get pressure started. I'm cool with all of this. I think this is great stuff and actually makes me want to play Kai, right? Dragon Install now increases the tension gain after a set period of time, as other overdrives do, as it greatly increases Kai's average damage output after activation. We had it intended to be a valuable option, but it resulted in the move being underpowered and not used very frequently. Okay. This caused us to reevaluate it, including buffs to the activation, and, change the lightning command to avoid issues with accidental inputs. So all good stuff, right? I think all this is great. Can't really get mad at any of the changes for Kai. I'm actually looking forward to dealing with some of this stuff and actually maybe messing around with Kai for once, because he looks kind of interesting. I don't know how Kai players feel about these changes. It may not be enough from what I'm hearing. I know that one moves in an overhead yet and stuff like that, but this is a good start, right? This is a good start. Gosh, I don't know this. Mei, as her standing heavy slash has a much shorter range than her slash attack, despite having a lot of recovery, we reduce the recovery and improve the attack's active time. This makes it very effective at preventing opponent's approach during neutral. Oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up. It's like they don't watch matches. This isn't real to me. We have also reduced and lowered the hitbox and hurtbox of far standing slash and reduced the active timer for crouching slash. It is now vital to choose which one of our normals you use for a given situation. Okay. Overall, decrease the lower hitbox and hurtbox. That's some, I think that's good, right? That means we can finally punish the move, I'm assuming. I don't know. Like, if it's lowered and the hurtbox is also with it and we can trade and punish it, I guess that's a good thing, right? But the increased heavy slash with increased active time and decreased recovery, that's like kind of degenerate. I don't care. I don't know. I don't know enough about fighting Mei, but that sounds OD degenerate. I'm a pleb. I think this sounds OD degenerate. And also, they still didn't nerf my big issue, which is the fact that this homie could just do Dolphin. Like, none of this matters. The homie's just going to do close slash in your face after Dolphin's done. That's what I'm afraid of. Overhead Kiss has been reduced in terms of horizontal blowback, making follow-up attacks possible mid-screen, and also reduces damage. So, I mean, I guess I'm fine with that, honestly. And then the wonderful dynamic Gashugawa fixed the bug that caused the attack to hit after wallbang occasionally. Cool, whatever. Axel, I'm not gonna lie, there's really nothing to really talk about here. It's just one vision can now be canceled, which is good stuff, and then Snell is sped up. So he's a little bit more viable, and one vision is gonna be used a lot more in play, which is really exciting. So I'm actually hyped to see what Axels are doing, because you guys are already kind of nutty playing a character like that. So yeah, I'm cool with that. Chip Zaneth, basically, for this patch note, his aerial plus K, aerial down K, which is, something that's really hard to anti-air. It's now basically easier for people to anti-air it during his descent, which is literally all I've been asking for. Now we can play some gosh darn neutral, Chips. You ready? You ready? I'm finally going to be able to hit you guys. I'm excited. So yeah, overall, that's good stuff. Basically, it makes it risky for the opponent to throw out neutral moves against him, but for the most part, hopefully it's easier to punish that move and we'll be chilling. I think everything else is fine, like reducing the lower part of the hitbox for far standing slash and crouching slash, having better dash momentum and all that. I think that's cool. Chip kind of needs that. It makes him feel more fluid to fight and not as like this weird janky hit stop and go fest that it's been, and not being able to punish as he jumps in alpha blades all around you. So all that stuff is cool to me. I have no complaints. Man, I don't want to talk about this character. We have greatly increased the merit of making the opponent block Heat Knuckle. It is also now more difficult for the opponent to punish Potemkin when the opponent blocks the latter half of the active frames of forward K. Yeah, I don't even have words. I don't even have words, man. Greatly increased the opponent's risk level on block. Made it easier to gain tension gauge on block, so if people mash Heat Knuckle and you block it, you are punished now, as if we weren't punished enough being blown back in midair, right? It's as if we're not punished enough when he has guard cancels or guard crush and all those mechanics. It's whatever. Sure, I guess that's what needed to be changed. Whatever. First time. Faust got pretty good buffs. Basically, it's a heavy slash has increased active time, increased damage on follow-up hits. Its crouching heavy slash is decreased when it comes to the hurt box on startup, and it extends the hitbox in front of Faust, which is good stuff to hear. And his aerial down K is now a attack startup that's a bit faster, it seems. And it also their hitbox is a little bit reduced. So yeah, pretty good stuff to Faust in all honesty. And I guess the adjusted opponent blowback on hit is pretty cool too. But for the most part, this is good stuff. This is a good start. I think having those moves be a bit more active and I guess usable in the neutral, or honestly a little more effective. Like crouching heavy slash is clearly one of Faust's better buttons. Leads into a lot of good stuff like mix, and lets you get a knockdown for all sorts of things, or lead into combo strings. I think that's all good stuff. So having all that there is great. And aerial down K, I mean, that's a Faust staple. You need that to be a little bit quicker. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then bone crushing excitement. It causes a wall break finally. And if it is wall break doesn't happen, you get Faust an advantage. Basically, you can like throw an item or set up for mix, which is again good stuff. For Milia, I don't quite understand the connotations of if this is good or not. I'll kind of briefly go over some things, but basically heavy slash has reduced recovery, or standing heavy slash has reduced recovery, increased movement speed on the hitbox of the S version of tandem top, which is good, and then fixed a bug that would cause a natural behavior on Clash, which is for Iron Savior, which I don't really, again, I never really seen that. And then Lush Shaker has a speed attack that is sped up the attack startup. I'm fine. I have no issues with this. It's all cool. Now she can finally pressure you. Her pressure is no longer just fake. That's crazy, right? Zotto. Increase the attack's active time on standing heavy slash. Increase the hitbox in front of Zotto during the additional active time. His forward P is now a faster attack startup and causes opponents to lift off the ground on grounded hit, which is kind of crazy to me. And then when recalling Eddie, quarter circle back heavy slash when Eddie is summoned, this one will be cancelled faster. Okay, cool. Again, no complaints. For some reason, I don't really get what's going on here. I guess they just, I don't know, reduce the lower hitbox behind and in front of Ram Lethal for aerial heavy slash, like I guess, and then increase the forward movement for Daru and floats the opponent on grounded hit when both swords. I guess, dude, it sounds a little overtuned for Ram, but who cares? All right, increase the Leo, man. We gotta talk about Leo. Increases options during Brynhilder's stance, I think it's called, making it easier to open up the opponent's defense. Do we play the same game, Arxis? The mechanics have also been adjusted so that he will always move towards the opponent when using the dash button, as he would previously sometimes mistakenly move away from the opponent. Awesome. You love to see it. His K can now be dashed or jump canceled. Like, this game is unreal. That's going to be OD. Is it on block? Is that about to be done on block? Like, you can press K on block and then dash through or jump cancel or something? Because that's OD. Alright, Nagoroyuki. Depending on the situation, after the first hit of Wasurayuki, I believe it is, it would sometimes not go through the rest of the animation. This led to a technique to secure follow-up damage by hitting the edge of the attack, but also made it disadvantageous when hitting the back of the attack. We have made it so the attack will not occur on the back of attack hits, so that it can be followed up with the combo. Cool. The follow-up from far standing slash makes it easy to decrease blood gauge. Awesome. Forward P is sped up on the attack setup, which is great. That move was super easy to exploit, especially as a Geo main. Increase the amount of blood gauge recover during far standing slash on the final follow-up hit, which is nice. And then this stuff, which is cool. Honestly, no issues. Nagoroyuki does have some jank to him, but this is all fair changes at the end of the day, and I have no gripes. He's still a pretty strong character, but like, this is all standard stuff. I still feel like he's one of the characters you just got to learn the matchup a lot and kind of grind it out. And Nago players are easily the most technically skilled right now, so I can't really complain. Giovanna, she can now combo into forward P from moves such as standing P. Okay, sick. Making combos easier in situations such as punishing the opponent. When the final hit of forward heavy slash connect, she's now in a better position. For Oki Zemi, there's now merit for not choosing to cancel a special move depending on the situation. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all hear this? We got Oki now after forward heavy slash. Geo players are eating good. I'm excited. My character is sounding pretty solid. Anji Mito can now mix his opponents up and blocking at mid-range using fusion because of the motion and I guess how the attack is active and stuff. They've also reduced the risk of using far standing slash as a poke and reduced the recovery. And you can also get better damage off of heavy slash due to the slight increase in forward movement on fusion. Okay, cool. And then buff to move so it can, cause wall break. Overall, pretty good stuff. Extend hitboxes, reduce recovery. It's all standard stuff that I kind of expected to see with Anji Mito. I guess his biggest thing is fusion and being able to cancel to various follow-up attacks, even if it whiffs. I think that's kind of interesting and going to be a little bit harder to deal with now that he can't just, you know, get grabbed out of every time you see fusion and spin out. I'm sure he could finally, like, option select and press some buttons there. So, finally, real counterplay, right? And then, of course, increased forward movement. So, yeah, no gripes. Ino, what the heck? What the heck is this? Oh, no, bro. The movement of her grounded and aerial hover dash has been buffed, expanding her options for both Oki, Zemi, and neutral. This game isn't real. This isn't real. The changes to her normal, such as standing heavy slash and the heavy slash version of Stroke the Big Tree, create additional opportunities for combos and increase her pressure at close range. And then Ultimate Fortissimo has been buffed mainly so that it's easier to cause wall break. This game isn't real, bro. Are you dead serious right now? Is this actually happening? Standing heavy slash is sped up. Crouching K has reduced knockback. Sweep reduces horizontal opponents on blowback. Aerial D affected the hit effect on ground opponents, increased the time allowed for follow-up attacks. So it's a true block string I'm hearing, maybe. This might actually give me to play Ino again. If Aerial D is finally a true block string again, like it was in one of the betas, and you can kind of train stuff together and not just mash P out, that's going to be a big deal. Oh, I was expecting Gold Loose to get changed, but here we are. The hit effect of Skyfish will not be buffed depending on the current security level. It provides a major advantage on hit at level 3 in particular. The adjustments to Crouching K and Forward P are minor, but improve their usability. Alright, cool. Dust Attack, Crouching K, reduce knockback, Forward P, speed up the attack. Skyfish, changes, hit effect changes on security level, and then down with the system. Fix a bug where a wall break would not occur and there would be a graphical error. Oh, interesting. Overall, it is an interesting patch. It is a very interesting patch list. Do I agree with it? Not with that soul stuff, and not with this May stuff. I feel like it's a little low key, especially the May one. This right here is tone deaf. Like I don't get it. The Ino changes are also a little worrying because I feel like low key the community just complained about Ino for no reason, if that makes sense. Like she was just kind of good. Like she had her good stuff, and she's a mixed queen. And a lot of people were just kind of good at blocking, and they just didn't feel like dealing with it. But these options will go a long way in helping her out, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. My main issue is her supers. I think the supers causing guard crush, which is like the most annoying mechanic in Strive, and the awkwardness of having to deal with not being able to play neutral, really, basically, because you're in this weird, like, reel back stance. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a fan of that. But there are ways to punish it. But with the increased forward movement and stuff that's going on, I'm a little wary of Ino. I think Ino's going to actually be an issue, and people are going to finally wake up and realize. I've been struggling with this character for a minute, but yeah, this character's going to be a nutty kind of thing to fight. Overall, I agree with all the changes. I wish, everyone's like fine. I don't really have any issues with Geo, no issues with Nago. Leo, I have big issues with. I think this is just strange. You know what I mean? I don't know why you give this man even more options on the back turn stance, but here we are. Ram feels tone deaf, like they didn't even bother touching some of our other stuff, but yeah. Overall, pretty interesting patch list. No major gripes. I'm seeing some things that I'm not a fan of, but what can you do? That's basically it. Thank you all for watching the video. I guess I'll see you guys for the next Guilty Gear Strive thing. That's probably going to be 27th of August, and yeah, we'll see you when what's her name drops, Jacko. So peace. I'll see you guys then. I hope you guys all have a good day.